Hey there, if you're watching this video, then you most likely have a wife or a daughter or a family member who just started their own Mary Kay business. And so I wanted to take the time to introduce myself to you. I am their director, Whitney, and I am here to help them be successful. I'm going to train, guide, mentor her, and help her figure out what her real goals and dreams are and show her how she can achieve them. And so I just wanted to give you a little bit about my story and let you know a little bit more about how this company works and just go over some important information for you to know. And it's really important to me that family is kind of plugged in and understands everything, because it really is a family business. I grew up in Mary Kay. My mom is a national with the company, and she started her business before I was even born. She was teaching school full-time and working on her master's degree, and my dad was in medical school, and so she picked this up just to make a little bit of extra cash, just here and there. She was going to work her business just one day a week, and on the rest of the week she taught school. And what she found was that she was making more in her one day with Mary Kay than she was all week long teaching. So after about 4 months of that being pretty consistent, she decided to leave her teaching job and just pursued Mary Kay full-time as a career. And then when I was a year old, we were able to retire my dad at 32 from the medical field because we didn't need his income anymore. So this is really all I've ever known. It put my sisters and I through college completely debt-free. I did get my degree at the University of Nebraska at Lincoln in Human Science and Education, and I used my degree for a little bit after school. I was offered a job as the director of an education center, so I did that for a little while, and then realized that I wanted to take my life into my own hands and change my circumstances a little bit and be my own boss. And so I decided to make this a full-time career for me as well. And now I am married to my amazing husband, Wes, and we like to do this business together. We like to call it our business. I'm obviously doing almost everything with it, but we like to make a lot of decisions and things together. So it's really important to me that we include you in this process and in the success of your new consultant, because it's really important that she has your full support in everything that she's doing with this company. So I just want to let you know a little bit more about how things work, and I'm going to take you into what we stand for here in the Legacy unit. That's the unit that your new consultant is joining in. And what we do is, as a director, I'm going to help her and kind of train her and kind of take her through some different things. She's going to have some websites that she can plug into to get even more training. I can do coaching calls, things like that with her as well. If she's local to me, then I will plug her into our studio here where we do training and we do events and things like that. If she's not local to me, then we'll plug her into an event with a director that lives locally, and that director will take care of her and help her be successful there. And that director doesn't get anything for helping her, but we all take care of each other. And so that's why we can get her plugged in locally, and she has a place to meet some people and get some support and things like that there too. So how Mary Kay works is it's a dual marketing concept. And you probably want to know how the money's made, right? Like usually most people want to know that. And so there's 3 different ways that she's going to make her money. The first way is sharing the product, and every time she does that, she gets to keep half of everything that she sells. So she makes 50%. And since it's consumable, her customers are going to run out of it, and every 3 to 5 months she's going to need more, and so they're going to come back to her, and she's going to make that 50% over and over and over again. So she's going to have that residual income coming in, which is really nice. There is no quotas, so there's no amount that she has to do or amount of time she has to put in or amount she has to sell or anything like that. So there's no pressure on her, there's no pressure on her customers. The next avenue of income is called a sponsoring structure, and that's where she builds a team if she chooses to. And so Mary Kay pays us to share this opportunity with other women, because that was really why she started this company in the first place, is for women to be able to have a way to be independent, to be able to design their life the way they want it to look and not the way an employer wants it to look, and to really be able to be financially free and just have that flexibility to make their own schedule. And so when she shares this opportunity with other women and they decide that this is something that would benefit them, then they can join her team. And what happens is those women will be their own independent contractors with the company, just like she is, so they're their own boss too. But they're going to order their products from Mary Kay for wholesale. So we all order them for that wholesale value, and then we sell them for retail. So you buy it for $1, sell it for $2. And so her team members will do the same thing. And what happens is Mary Kay is going to pay her a percentage based on what her team members are doing every month, but it's going to come out of Mary Kay's profit. It's not going to come out of her profit, or out of her team members' profit. So it's all going to come from them. So the first 4 people on her team, they're going to pay her 4% based on what they're doing every month. And then when she has 5 people, it'll change to 9%, and then becomes 9% on everyone. And then when she has 5 or more people ordering in the same month, then it'll become 13%. And so every month that happens, she'll make 13%. She'll also get a $50 bonus. After she has 3 people on her team, she'll get a new $50 bonus with every new team member that's added. And so every new qualified team member. And so those are all going to come from Mary Kay in a check form or directly deposited every month. And then her sales are made instantly. So right away, when she sells something, she gets to keep half. Half is for the product, the other half goes in her pocket. So it's like instant cash machine. And so those are those 2 avenues. The last avenue is what we call leadership. That's a director position. That's what I do. And that's where you're now wanting to mentor and help other women be successful as well. And when you're in that position, the company triples your income because you are working with more people, kind of similar to how most companies would pay like a management team, except for we're not managing anybody. We're just helping people who want to be helped, who want our guidance. And so at that position, that's really your main focus. You'll still have, personal customers and things like that. You can still do your personal business if you choose to. But one of your main focuses is working with your units and helping them be successful with their business too. Just showing them how to do what you already know how to do, basically. And so she can do that as quickly as she wants to. If that's her goal right away, she can step into a directorship like within her first 3 months if she wanted to, right when getting started with her business. Or sometimes you can be in the company for a while and then later decide you want to promote yourself. But you really do that at your own pace. And it's whatever your goal is. And so at that position, though, they pay us up to 26% based on what everyone we personally brought in is doing every month. And since they have teams and they have teams, all of those women are in what we call a unit. And then when those women we'll be helping those women as a director too. We're helping them, and so then the company pays us 13% based on what they're all doing every month as well. The top bonuses for directors, there's lots of bonuses, but to try to not confuse you too much, the top 2, there's a team building bonus as well for a director, and it's $100 for every qualified new unit member. And then there's a 10% bonus for production. Whatever your unit does in production, you get an additional 10% as a bonus. So if your unit's doing 10,000 in production, which is pretty average for a new director, then your bonus is going to be $1,000 based off of what her production was. Every month, if her production's higher than that, it's going to be higher too. So 10% of what your unit does in production. If she had 10 new qualified unit members, she could possibly get a $1,000 bonus for that too. So those bonuses will rack up pretty quickly. And what I realize is I make more now in just bonuses with the company than I did all month of my old job with my college degree. So it's pretty significant and amazing. The averages that the company give, we say for about 2 hours of work, the national average for a consultant usually making anywhere $600 to extra $1,000 a month for just a couple hours a week. And I know that can be more than that. I've had consultants who have helped do launch parties and things like that, and they've had over $1,000 parties, so that was $500 profit in a day. So it can be more than that. The national average for a consultant working about 6 hours a week consistently is a little over $30,000 a year in profit from working with the product. And then as a director, the average for directors, we make anywhere from $5,000 to $25,000 a month, and that's what they pay us as leaders. And then any sales we're having is just kind of extra, additional icing on the cake, basically. You can go beyond that as well. I have really good friends of mine who are at the director position who are making about $28,000 a month right now. So I know that it can go beyond that. A national position is the next level above that. That is what my mom does. That's what I'm actually working into right now as well. And that is when you are mentoring the leaders. You lead the leaders. So as a national, you work with the directors, help them to be good motivators and be good leaders for their units. And so at that position with the company being at the very top, they're paying them anywhere from $300,000 to over $1 million a year. And that's for doing that. They're usually not working with the product at all anymore unless they choose to. It's just that leading and working with the company on different decisions and things like that too, at the very top of the company. And so There are more women with Mary Kay making over 6 figures a year right now than any other company, just because there are no limits. You really truly can go as fast as you want to, make as much as you want to. I tripled my income within about 6 months after leaving my full-time job. So I know that it's possible, and it's really possible for anybody. You have to, it's very important to know that you get out of it what you put into it. It's exactly how it works. That if she's going to work her business, if she's going to put effort into it, and she's going to be doing the work, then she's going to be seeing the results. But if she just lets her starter kit sit under her bed and doesn't open it or do anything with it, or not tell anybody that she's even in Mary Kay, then it's very likely that that's not going to go too far. So it really is just that cut and dry. You get out of it what you put into it. So I hope that you are going to be encouraging and supportive of your new beauty consultant, because she can do so much. There's so much that this company has to offer, and so many things that she can achieve, and not even just for her and your family, but also what she's going to be able to do by bringing this opportunity to other women, and the way that it's going to transform their lives and their families' lives. So it has a really great ripple effect by all the things that you can do to bless others with this company. And so I really, really appreciate you being a great supporter of her and her dreams. The other thing that I wanted to cover with you is most likely that your new consultant has just gone through an orientation with me and gone over some of her first steps for being a consultant. And within those first steps, there's some different challenges that we put together that I've gone over with her, different things that she can do to kind of help her get started, that it's going to be training for her as well as working her business, and so it just kind of helps her get that momentum going. And then I also covered the option of whether she wants to have inventory on hand or not. And that is going to be one of the biggest, most important decisions that she's going to make with her Mary Kay career, is whether she decides she wants to have product on hand. Now, product on hand is completely optional. It is not required by any means, but it is my job to help her figure out what's going to be the best option for her. And if she's wanting to work this business, be successful, have a customer base so that people are going to keep coming back and reordering from her, and are going to keep coming and wanting to try other things, then it's really, really important that she has that product on hand for them, because otherwise, if you don't have that product there, it's less likely that they're going to come back and they're going to reorder more from her whenever they run out. Because I kind of relate it to toothpaste. If I run out of toothpaste, I don't usually think, oh hey, I'm going to be out of toothpaste next week, better go get some. I'm usually like, oh darn, I'm out of toothpaste, I need to go get some today. And that's how they are when they run out of their cleanser or their eye makeup remover or mascara or whatever it is, that they're like, oh darn, I'm out, I need it now, or I'm leaving on vacation this week, or I'm flying out for my job or whatever tomorrow and I need this right now. I mean, those are the kind of calls I get from my customers, like, I need to swing by tonight. Can I swing by tonight? Can I grab that? Can you swing it by work on my break or whatever? And I can get it to them right away, but they know that I have that there. And if I don't have it there, it's a lot easier for them either to find another consultant who does, or go to the store and get something else and switch brands, because it's all about convenience today, and it's all about instant gratification. So one of the advantages that she has as being an independent beauty consultant is that these women get to try the products right away. When they sit down with her, they can feel it. They already see how it's changing their skin. They can see the way it looks. They love it. They want to look like this tomorrow. They want their skin to feel like this, next week, a month from now, for their wedding this summer, or whatever. They're loving the way that they're feeling right then, and they're going to want that instant gratification. They want to have it. They want to take it home and use it the next day. But if they know that they have to wait for it, it's a lot easier for them to think, oh, well, let me just think about it and let you know, because they're not going to get it right then anyway. And we all know that that excitement's going to die down, and the next day she might not be as excited about it, and she might have other things that come up that she probably needs to spend money on or something like that, and then that sale is going to decrease dramatically over time. And so you do sell an average 3 times more when you have that product there for them than she would if they didn't. So I kind of relate it to, let's say, the grocery store. if you were going into the grocery store and you were going to go get a bunch of food because you had family coming over tonight and you needed to get all the food prepared and made up for them, and you went into the first store and they greeted you at the door and they said, great, what you need? And you say, okay, well, I'm making spaghetti and I'm making, I need some bread to make some garlic bread, and I need some milk and some vegetables. And they say, okay, awesome. Well, let me show you this catalog, and on this page is the breads and on this page is the pasta, and I can get that to you in about 5 to 7 days. And you're like, oh, that's not gonna work. They're coming over tonight. I have to make this dinner tonight. And so you go to the next store and they say, okay, how can I help you? You explain the same thing to them. They're like, okay, awesome. Well, let me show you. We have this pasta over here. We don't have any garlic bread, but we do have some milk. But I can show you this catalog, and there's the rest of this you can order. Or you can go onto the website and order it, and it'll be to you to 5 to 7 days as well. You know, so you're not really so happy. They may have like 1 or 2 pastas, and they don't have anything else that you need. And so you're like, okay, well, that's not going to work either. So you go to the next store, and this is like your Walmart. You know, they have everything for you there. They not only have your bread and your pasta and your, you know, desserts even, or whatever you're wanting for your dinner. They have multiple. They have different selections. They have different things for you to choose from. And so with that, you're a lot more satisfied because you have options. You have things that you can go through, and you're going to get everything you need immediately so you can take it home that night and make it. So it's that same kind of concept. You would not have a grocery store and not have groceries in it. You wouldn't have a Best Buy and not have all of the things there that people are going to need and be able to take right then. That's just not how stores work. So you definitely can treat it like a order taker business. She can treat it like a fundraiser and pass around a catalog and let people look at things on her website, and sometimes people will order some stuff that way, so she can work it that way. But she's not going to be as successful as she wants to be if that product is not there immediate for her. She's not going to be able to be that professional role if you're just taking orders, if that makes sense. So what the company has put together is different levels of inventory options to start with, and each level has amount of free products she can get if she gets her order in within her first 15 days of her business. And so when she puts that in, and she starts at one of those levels, she gets some free product. The reason that they start that, the reason they have that reward system incentive for her to get started right away, is because a lot of times it's easy for us to think, well, let me see how much I'm going to sell, or you know what I'm going to sell before I invest in inventory. And that's not a fair comparison, because you have no idea how much they would have bought or what they would have bought if she would have had that product there. I mean, if you walked into any other cosmetic counter and you walked in there and they only had like a few selections, then they only would have bought what was in front of them. But if they had other things there for her to look at and for her to try and see in person, then she would have bought a lot more from them if that was the case. And so it's not really a fair comparison to do it that way, so they reward us for getting started right away with that product on hand. Now, at the very top, the full store product, that 4,200 level, that's going to get her multiple of everything. It's going to get her multiple of her skincare, multiple of her different like foundation shades and all the cosmetic lines, the brush sets, bags, everything. She's going to be completely fully stocked with that store, so that she can have a few appointments and she's not going to run out of things right away, that she's going to be able to have some there, and she's only going to have to restock whenever she's starting to run low. She also can demo everything at that different level, so that she has those things there in person for people to be able to look at and try and see, because it does look a lot different in person than it would if you were looking at it just in a catalog or online. And so that is going to be a huge advantage to her as well. Also, an important thing to know is that everything that she demos or everything that she gives away as like free product for a special or some kind of incentive for hosting a party, or anything she uses herself, which is really good thing to know, is all a tax write-off. It's all considered advertisement, and so it's a tax deduction, and she gets to write that off. So that is a really nice perk of owning her own business and having inventory. So that's the top level. As you move down, you're really not going to be able to demo as many things or show as many things. Moving down some more, you're not going to really have as many of each thing on hand for her to show at parties and things like that. The 2,400 level, the easiest way to describe that one is that she's going to have still multiple of some skincare, but she's really going to have like one of each cosmetic color on hand. So one of each of the eyeshadows, cheek colors, lip colors, that kind of thing. And then I try to get her a couple of some of the more popular shades, but she's not going to have multiple of all the shades. And then the 1800 is the last, what we call a star level. And it's important to be a star because it's a status within the company. She also gets to pick prizes. Maybe if she's really nice, she'll let you pick the first prize. I don't know. But there's different prizes there. There's prizes for men, for women, for homes, for kids, practical prizes, fun prizes. Sometimes, occasionally, I will let my husband pick, but he usually takes like a cooler or a food saver or something that is totally not fun for me. But they have those things in there for that reason, so you never know, maybe you can talk her into it. But when she picks a prize, she'll get a prize for that quarter for being a star consultant when she starts at one of these levels. So the 1800 level is the lowest star level that she can start with, and when she starts at that level, she's going to get some of the skincare and just one of all the color cosmetics, and that's it. Now the downfall of that is that if she has a party, and most likely there's going to be 2 to 3 people there that are the same foundation shade, or they like the same lip gloss or eye color or whatever, and she's only going to have one there for them. So what happens a lot is people will have their first party and they sell out of everything immediately, and then they're going to have to go and restock everything they just sold again. So that's not always as convenient, not having that much on hand. It's just like basically one of each thing. So one of the other advantages of having product on hand too is that it's just a time saver, because she's not having to order products and delivering them everywhere. She can just give it to them and be done with it and not have to worry about it again. Anything below star level is not going to really be anything much to sell. The 1200 will get you a little bit of product to a little bit of a skincare. We'll be into the color product. And seriously, like, it's the biggest pain to have to order one eyeshadow because somebody wanted an eyeshadow and you didn't have it. I mean, that's like $3 our cost, and the shipping cost is $9 something, and it's the same price no matter how big the order is. So if she's getting inventory, then she's going to only pay that $9 and some cents that one time, and the next time when she goes to reorder, like to restock what she's sold. If she's putting in small orders all the time, then she's going to have to pay that shipping cost over and over, and that's going to come out of her profit. And so it's really not that cost effective. The lowest level as far as the free product goes is the 600 level. That's just going to be stuff to demo. It's not going to be anything for her to have on hand to sell. So I kind of compare that to going into the grocery store, and it's like the samples, like if you ever go into like a Sam's or something like that and they have like the little samples out that you can try, it's like that. They have that there, but I mean, how beneficial is that? And then not having the boxes of the product right next to it that you can grab and throw in your cart because you liked it, So having that product to demo, it's great because it's going to let them see the product and try it, but it's not going to have it there for them to have it right away, so they would have to wait for it to be ordered in. So hopefully that kind of breaks it down for you a little bit on how the different levels work. The other really important thing to know with inventory is that Mary Kay takes the majority of the risk. They have a 90% buyback guarantee. So if she does decide to invest in inventory and then later, just doesn't going to work her business anymore for whatever reason, then she can send that product back, and Mary Kay is going to give her 90% of her money back. And that's amazing, because if she started any other kind of business, if she wanted to open up her own shoe store and then later didn't want to sell shoes anymore, then she would be stuck with a lot of shoes. Nobody's going to buy that back from her. So I love that they have that in there, that safety net for us, because they would rather risk you having to send that back than to never get started with it again in the first place. And never know how successful she would have been if she would have had it. So they have that there for us. And I can go over any other questions that you have about that or how that works, but just knowing that they take that risk and all the free product that she's going to get, hopefully that will help you make a decision on what's going to be the best option for her. And I would be happy to talk you through the different levels again too, and just help her figure out which is going to be best and how much she wants to have on hand based on just what she wants to do with her business. And so we can talk that over. We could do a three-way call with all of us, or you're welcome to call me and ask me questions too on how that works. I just know that from personal experience, I have inventory. I started with inventory. All of my most successful consultants who are working into leadership positions, earning cars, things like that, all have inventory because it really is a critical part of your business, and it's really important to get started setting yourself up for success with having that product there. So I hope that helps you. The other thing that I usually go over with them too is that most people use some kind of financing when they're getting their inventory. Some people have the money lying around that they want to use, and that's okay. When I got started, I was 18 and a freshman in college, and so I did not have the money lying around to get my store of inventory. So I actually took out a loan with my bank, and at that point my parents had to co-sign because I was 18, and so that's how I got my inventory. And if that tells you anything, I mean, my parents paid for my college in full so that I wouldn't have any debt, but they made me get my loan for inventory for my business. My mom said that if I was going to start this, that I had to have product on hand, and that was the only way she was going to let me get started with it because she wanted to know I was serious about it. And so that's what I did. I got a loan for my inventory. So there's lots of different options to do it that way, and I'm happy to help in that arena as well. And what I would do, or actually I'll give you my mom's situation was a little bit more relatable, but what the idea of it is that you invest in your inventory, you could do some kind of financing, or say you took it out of savings. What would then happen is she would sell a product, 50% of that would be for the product, and since she already has it on her shelf, I suggest taking that 50% and putting it in a free checking account at your bank that's separate from your personal account, and that'll be her restocking money, and she can use a debit card associated with that account to restock everything that she sold when she starts to run low. The other 50% is your profit, and she has two options. One, she can take that profit and she could apply all of the profit to go towards paying off her inventory loan, or putting back into savings or wherever you got the money from, or she could take part of her profit and pay the inventory loan or put it in savings. The other part of her profit could go towards something else. And then either way, the idea of it is to be able to pay off that loan or put that money back into your savings really quickly, so that at the end she is completely, as long as she's restocking, she has that completely paid off, and she still has a full store of product that she's only making money off of now. So that's the idea behind it. To give you the numbers version, let's say the national average for a party, let's just shoot low, and let's just, for easy numbers, say $300. Let's say she does a party, it's $300 in sales. And say she does that just twice a week, or an appointment even. I mean, you can make $300 in an appointment. I just had a $300 reorder last week of someone who was reordering some stuff, and she bought $300 worth of stuff, and I made it in like 10 minutes. So, let's say it's $300. Let's say that she does it twice a week. Her sales are $600 that week. So if she did that for a month, her anticipated sales for that month would be $2,400, right? So if she did that 2 times a week for 4 weeks, $2,400. So if you take half of that, $1,200 is for the product. The other half, $1,200, is profit. So she could take $1,200 and put it towards, putting it back in savings or paying off the loan, or she could take part of that and do that, and the other part used for profit for whatever else that you're wanting the money for. So hopefully that makes sense and kind of breaks it down for you, maybe puts you at ease a little bit more now that I've explained it. If you have any more questions, please let me know. Wes and I are happy to help, and I'm really excited that your new consultant has decided to take this journey, because you will not be sorry. As long as she's working her business, she can do amazing things, and this company and this business has just blessed my family tremendously, and so I just love sharing it with other people. So I hope you have a great day, and we will be talking soon.